You reading Upstairs Mouse, Downstairs Mole. We're going to read the next chapter, but before we start reading this next chapter, we need to warm up our brains. Now, we need to warm up our brains by thinking about all we have learned about these characters, Mouse and Mole. So what are some things you have learned about these characters? Maybe you can tell us what they like to do, or you can tell us who they are, or maybe some of the things they don't like. Go ahead now and tell me all that you know about these two characters, Mouse and Mole. What have we already learned? Go. All right, awesome job, friends. So maybe some of you said that Mouse and Mole are neighbors, and Mouse lives upstairs and Mole lives downstairs. You could have said some of the things that they like and don't like Mouse really likes cheese, but she does not like the dark. And Mole really likes worms, but he does not like the light. Awesome job, friends. I think we're going to read more today, and when we're reading more today, we're actually going to also learn more about these characters, which I'm really excited about, and I hope you are too. So before we get started reading, we also need to make sure we retell before we start reading another chapter. Because could you imagine if we started reading these books, we read one chapter, then the next, and then all of a sudden we thought to ourselves, I don't need to remember what happened last. No, that would be so sad. So right now, let's stop and let's retell the important parts that happened in the last chapter, because that's something that good readers do. What are some of the important things that happened last chapter? Go ahead and tell us. Awesome job. So some of you might have said in the last chapter, Mole invited Mouse over and Mouse did not feel too well, so she went home. And then, Mouse invited Mole over. And Mole went to Mouse's house, but Mole did not feel well either. All right, awesome job retelling, friends. Let's go ahead and get started and see where this adventure takes us today. Kind, good neighbors. Mole woke up the next morning, feeling refreshed. He looked around his tidy hole. How nicely dark and damp it was. Nothing like Mouse's house, which was warm and bright. Suddenly, Mole pictured Mouse shivering. He remembered Mouse sneezing, Mouse bumping into the table, and Mouse smacking into the door. Why, Mouse had not even touched the worms on her plate. "Goodness!" cried Mole. "How selfish of me!" He buttoned his jacket and rushed out the door. Friends, I think that Mole is feeling bad and he might be feeling a little embarrassed because I think he's realizing that Mouse didn't feel comfortable at his house and she maybe didn't like some of the things that happened to her. So I think he's realizing that she felt a little uncomfortable. Give me a thumbs up if you agree. Awesome job, friends. Let's read to find out what happens next. Mouse washed the dishes in the sink. Rays of sunshine streamed into the kitchen. How bright and cheery things looked. Not at all like Mole's dark hole. Suddenly, Mouse pictured Mole covering his eyes. She remembered Mole walking into the wall, Mole falling off his chair, and Mole bumping into the door. Why, Mole had not even nibbled the cheese on his plate. "Mercy me!" squeaked Mouse. "What a thoughtless neighbor I've been!" She zipped her coat and raced out the door. I wonder where she's going to go. Mouse tied a bow on her box and hurried downstairs. Mole finished wrapping his package. He went upstairs to call on Mouse. They bumped into each other outside. Bump! "Why, hello!" said Mouse to Mole. "Hello," said Mole to Mouse. "This is for you," said Mole. "I hope you don't think me a thoughtless neighbor." Mouse opened the present. There were 2 candles inside the box. Wait a second, friends. I think I need to think about how the characters are saying this dialogue. I'm going to reread it so I sound like them because I don't think I really sounded like them. Remember, I'm going to notice the punctuation and how the characters are feeling during this part of the story. "Why, hello," said Mouse to Mole. "Hello," said Mole to Mouse. "This is for you," said Mole. "I hope you don't think me a thoughtless neighbor." Mouse opened the present. There were 2 candles inside the box. "Bring them when you visit," said Mole, "and my hole will be less dark and damp." "Thank you very much," said Mouse. "You are a kind neighbor." Mouse handed Mole her box. "I hope I haven't been too selfish a neighbor." Mole unwrapped the package. Inside was a pair of sunglasses. "Wear them when you visit me," said Mouse, "and my house will not seem so bright." "Thank you very much," said Mole. "You are a good neighbor, Mouse." Oh, friends, I'm noticing something on this page. Let's take a look. Do you notice something about these words? Yeah, they stand out to my eyes. They really stand out. So I think that the author is making these words stand out so they can also stand out to our ears. So let me reread this to make sure they stand out. Are you ready? Mouse handed Mole her box. "I hope I haven't been too selfish a neighbor." Mole unwrapped the package. Inside was a pair of sunglasses. "Wear them when you visit," said Mouse, "and my house will not seem so bright." "Thank you very much," said Mole. "You are a good neighbor." Together, they strolled into town for dessert. Mouse had the cheesecake. As for Mole, a bowl of worms, lightly fried. And that's the end of our chapter for today. Okay, friends, I hope you learned a little bit more about Mouse and Mole. If you have a stuffed animal around you or a parent, go ahead and talk about what else you've learned about Mouse and Mole. What else did you learn about these characters? Maybe things that they like or something that they did or how they're feeling. Go ahead and discuss that, and we will continue our book of Upstairs Mouse, Downstairs Mole tomorrow. Bye, friends.